The Daily Dig Street Sweeper. The Daily Dig Street Sweeper. Low throttle. Hello everyone and welcome to the Daily Dig. Today we have the Street Sweeper. Hi, I'm Josh, General Manager for Diggerland USA and Certified Instructor here. Now with us as always we have Ben. Hi Ben, how you doing? Our favorite operator is with us again today here and he's operating the Street Sweeper. Now we've seen Ben on dumper trucks, on backhoes, on excavators. He's made tremendous messes. So at the end of the day, once there's a mess, what do? It's time to clean up. So by having a street sweeper, we can get this park nice and clean. And this sweeper is the thing to do the tasks. So Ben, come on up. Let's take a look at some of the features of the street sweeper. Perfect. All right. So, looking at the street sweeper in the front, what do we have? We've got brooms, we've got brushes. This is a great way to get up the dirt. We also have his tires. Now, these tires don't actually turn, his wheels. They are fixed. Wherever he's pointing, he's going to go in one direction. His steering actually is controlled by the back. If you've ever seen a Zamboni in action, this machine works a lot like a Zamboni or a reverse tricycle. When he's turning the wheel, it's the wheel in the back that's causing his direction. So he can turn really good and on a dime. We'll see that in a moment. We can also see some brushes. This is for scrubbing. Now, we don't normally scrub when we're outdoors. We like to scrub the inside of our pavilion, our arcade floors, and some other inside locations. But we'll take a look at the scrubbing unit in a minute. We also have his vacuum. This is where all the dirt and dirty water goes. He sucks it right up. It goes into a storage tank, and then we discard and dispose of it. We also have his controls and his fuel source. Look right here. This is a little different than what we've seen. We have propane. Now, on all the machines we've seen so far, they've been all either diesel or gasoline and one electric machine. But now, for the first time, here's a new fuel source, propane. Now, propane's very similar to what you might use at home for cooking on your gas grill, unless you're a purist like me and you find the need to use charcoal. So we've locked up and secured his fuel compartment. We'd see his brush on this side. Now we talked about that waste tank before. This hose is for dumping all of his wastewater. We also have his engine compartment and exhaust. And we have access panels for when we need to do things. We also have, Ben, if you want to hop out for one moment. We've got Ben's controls on the side here. His steering wheel. We have his brush activation. We have his control panel. This is how he's going to operate this whole machine. He's going to take us through a demonstration in a moment and we'll get to see everything. So Ben, why don't you go ahead and hop back on? Now, as always, at any point during this broadcast, if you have any questions at home, feel free to ask and we will do our best to answer during the video, and we'll be sure if we miss any of your questions to get them at the end of the video, and we'll comment below. Also, let us know where you're watching from if you'd like a shout out. So Ben, without hitting the stones or dirt, why don't you go on up that way and show us how sharp this thing can turn with your back wheel. So we're going to watch Ben from behind. He's going to go up and he's going to give us a nice sharp turn. Look at that, by staying in place, he's able to do a 360-degree turn by using that back wheel, which is like a tricycle, but in reverse. He's steering that wheel, and his wheels get to go forward. Now we have a question. Max, in Rochester, New York, he's 3 years old. Hey Max, thanks for watching. He wants to know, how long has Diggerland been open? Well, Max, we opened in 2014 in June, so we've been open since then. And yes, our only location is right here in West Berlin, New Jersey. Great question. So Ben, why don't you drive around this cone, let's watch you turn around, and why don't you do a pass, drop your brushes once you pass the cone, and we'll get some of this dirt up. So let's watch this sweeper in action. Keep those questions coming. Let us know where you're watching from. So we're gonna see Ben. He's gonna go around this cone here. Throttle up as well to really give it some power. We're gonna watch him sweep up this row of dirt here. So first he's gonna drop his brushes. See, he just activated his lever, and here he comes. Let's watch him get that dirt. So check it out. All that dirt is now gone. In fact, we put the dirt down before it started raining, so you can see it's actually dry underneath where the dirt was. So what an amazing tool this is. Looks like we have a few more questions, so let's see who's watching. Alex wants to know, how fast does it go? Alex, great question. I actually have a speedometer on my phone, and I checked this out before today's video because I don't want to be caught without this answer. This machine, when we're not operating it, when it's not actually sweeping, can go 6 miles per hour. That's much slower than your car, but pretty fast out of all the machines we've seen. Most of our excavators and tracked equipment have only been going 1 or 2 miles per hour. Anthony in Boston wants to know, how fast does it sweep up dirt? Well, Anthony, that's a great question. Ben was just going about 3 miles per hour and he got all that dirt up, so you could see how fast he could sweep up dirt. He also wants to know how much dirt it holds. Great question. All the dirt's going right in here into a hopper, so it's all being stored. It's not like the dirt's just being dissipated back out into the environment. It's being put into a storage tank, which is called a hopper. And we're gonna look at that in a little bit. But in the meantime, why don't you go up and show, let me see who asked that question. Alex, show him top speed, 6 miles per hour. Why don't you head up to the arcade, turn around, and come back. So moving around the site, this machine is great. You see him moving at that 6 miles per hour, and we're gonna watch him do this turn. That's my favorite thing about the machine. It turns so quickly and so easily, and that allows you to get in really tight spots. Now the best thing about this is if you're operating indoors and you're operating on a floor, you could really get right up and turn around. Thanks, Ben. You know what's coming next. I wanna see those stones get picked up. So let's get in position and we'll watch Ben scoop up these stones. All right, so as Ben gets ready, it looks like we have another question. So Oliver, age 4, wants to know how long one tank of propane lasts before we have to change it. Well, Oliver, I can tell you that I use this machine a lot. I use it at the end of every day. That's the size right there of a propane tank. That's the size of the tank that goes in the machine. Now that will last us usually about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and we're able to, if we're using this every day for about an hour or 2 hours. So we get a very long lifespan out of the propane tank. So we see Ben's actually going in reverse now. And you can see the way he turns. He can get right where he needs to. But let's watch him scoop up these stones. So here we go, Ben. So first we got to turn our brushes on. And here we go with the stones. Now stones are a lot bigger than dirt, so this is going to be a little bit harder to sweep up. Now, I put a lot of stones down for Ben, so he's going to have to make multiple passes to get them. We see Daniel, age 8, in Staten Island is watching. Hi, Daniel, and he can't wait to come to Diggerland when we open. Daniel, we can't wait to have you here. So you can see the brush has pushed some of the stones aside, so he's got to make another pass. Oh, he's backing up. He's going to try a different approach. All right, so now Ben's going to bring his brushes up. He's going to go into low idle. That way I don't have to keep shouting. So Des, age 6 in St. Louis, is watching. He wants to know what size stone can it pick up. Well, this machine's really made more for dirt and small stone and debris. Maybe a straw wrapper. Bigger stones, we would want to use a shovel and a bucket to get it up. But the pea gravel, you can see in my hand, it's about 1/4 of an inch big. It's picking it up and it'll get it up. Now, the question happened, or we had a question before. Where does, how much dirt can it hold? How much stone can it hold? Well, we're about to see. We have this hopper here. So we're going to have Ben actually raise up this hopper using our friend hydraulics. So Ben, go ahead and bring the hopper up. And we're going to see some of the dirt coming out, some of the stones because of the gravity. Keep going up, Ben. Now, at the end of the day, when it's time to clean this out, we'll take this over to our big dumpster. I have a small dumpster here for demonstration, but Ben's going to go ahead and open up the hopper now and get out all that dirt and stone. Wow, look at that. And the wind is not going in Ben's direction, but it certainly is going in my direction, so I kind of lucked out there. So you can see all the dirt's coming out. We have just a little bit more to get out of there. And this is great for cleanup at the end of every single day. And I'm going to move this dumpster back out of the way. You can also see his small sweeper. That's what's feeding everything up into the hopper tank. So we will take a broom and dustpan to clean this up, or we could just use the sweeper and do another pass in order to get everything clean. But Ben, go ahead and close that hopper up. And then we can watch our friend hydraulics here as he lowers the whole hopper unit back down. Give us lights. Lights. Also, I just had Ben turn the lights on. Now, why do we need lights? Sometimes the sun's setting when we're cleaning up, but we got to be able to see what we're doing. Or we're operating indoors where lights will be a safety factor. So let's see if Ben can get up some of this dirt that he just dropped while we emptied out the hopper. And I do want to show one other feature of this unit. So I'm going to call Ben on the radio and ask him to go over by the big chair, and then we'll get started with the scrubbing feature. So Ben, why don't you drive over by the big chair, and then we'll come up close so we can watch you scrub. So head on over to the big chair. Don't worry about the scrubber yet. So you can see Ben's front brushes have been down, sweeping up. But come to this side with me. We're going to see a whole nother feature. This is usually our indoor feature. Because we're outside and it's already raining, we're going to use it as our outdoor feature. So Ben, come on up. Now let's watch as Ben drops his scrubbers in the back here. And his vacuum just went down. Now he's going to turn his water on for a super clean. Go ahead, Ben, let's watch. You can see that water coming out. And it is scrubbing the ground here, getting it nice and clean for us. All right, and also looks like we have a few more shout outs. Emily, age 11, and Matthias, age 6, are watching from Wakefield, Massachusetts. Thanks for watching. Rose wants to know, is ear protection necessary to operate this machine? You can see Ben's got his ear guards on. When he's not scrubbing, it's quiet. But yes, when we have loud machines, we do need ear guards sometimes. Now, this machine is actually a machine we use at the end of every day when there's nobody here to clean the machines. And yes, we will wear ear protection. Thanks for the question, Rose. Let's watch Ben scrub a little bit more. Let us know where you're watching from if you want to get a shout out. And if you have any more questions, feel free to ask in the comments below. So we hope you enjoyed today's edition of the Daily Dig, available every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 1:30 p.m. right here on Facebook Live. And be sure to tune in every Friday for Ride Friday, where we show you how we turn a piece of construction equipment into a ride. And as always, if you have any questions that we can get to during this video, we'll be happy to answer them afterwards. Also, we're offering tickets on sale right now, and our tickets never expire. So be sure to go to Diggerland USA for more information. Are there any more questions? Nope, looks like we're good with questions. Thanks guys for tuning in. Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you on Friday for Ride Friday.